Good morning, ma'am. I just wanted to show you my note cards because I failed to do so last time. This is for speech 2. What we have here are 2 pieces of paper with separate note cards. The reason I'm not using cards this time around is because I have a dog, and I'm sure you've heard it before, but he literally ate my homework. However, it's okay because prior to writing down index cards, I always type it out first. That way I don't mess up the cards when I go to use them. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and give the real quick the heading of the paper, and then we'll start with the speech. So this is speech number 2, informative speech on general weapon safety. If you wouldn't mind, please panning and showing the audience. I have 4 people in the crowd and 1 man on the camera. All right. Again, Communication 110, Columbia College. This is my informative speech. General weapon safety is the topic of discussion. All right. And begin. Good morning. My name is Jonathan Pitts, and I am here to inform you about general weapon safety. Most of the time when people look at us, uniformed service members, they, among other things, assume that we are proficient with use of weapons. And generally this is a true assumption. However, we didn't start off that way. We all had training, right, for tools and their uses. Navy Guidelines, OPNAV Instruction 3591, a branch-specific training manual, is pretty much the basis for most of this speech. That is the General Weapons Firearm Safety Training Manual that we use. Okay, we're going to cover 2 major portions of firearm safety today. One being the universal safe handling procedures, as well as the condition codes and handling commands. Okay, so we're going to start with the universal firearm safety rules, which there are 4. Quick, easy way to remember this is treat, never, keep, keep. Treat, never, keep, keep. So the first rule is to treat every weapon as if it were loaded. Okay, if you treat every weapon as if it were loaded, you'll hardly ever have an opportunity to discharge the weapon accidentally. Coincidentally, according to the CDC, annually about 474 people are killed every year from negligent discharge of firearms. Okay, and what that means, of course, is that somebody accidentally thought the gun wasn't loaded, pointed it at their friend, pointed it at themselves, or playing with it inappropriately, and unfortunately had killed themselves. So, first rule, treat every weapon as if it were loaded. Second rule is never. Never point at anything you do not intend to shoot. Okay, and that goes hand in hand with the first rule. You don't want to wave your weapon around at anybody or anything that you don't intend to fire on. The third rule, keep. Keep your finger straight and off the trigger until you're ready to fire. This will ensure that even when you are getting ready to fire at a target, at an adversary, you won't accidentally pull the trigger and shoot someone or something you don't intend to shoot. The fourth and final rule for the universal firearm safety rules is keep the weapon on safe until you're ready to fire. So treat every weapon as if it's loaded, never point anything you don't intend to shoot, keep your finger straight and off the trigger until you're ready to fire, and keep the weapon on safe until you're ready to fire. Okay, so now that we know what the 4 universal firearm safety rules are, we're going to go through the condition codes of the weapons. Now, what a condition code is, a condition code is a reference to in what state your weapon is in, basically. You can find these condition codes. These condition codes for the military, for the Navy, are referenced in GM Tech 0812, which is the Small Arms Instruction publication. And they have a very broad and outlining process for these condition codes. There are 4 condition codes for every weapon. Condition 4 is your weapon with no magazine, there's no ammunition, and the weapon is on safe. So there's absolutely no chance your weapon could hurt someone unless you bludgeon them with it. Condition code 3 is where you just insert the magazine, there's no round in the chamber, and the safety is still on. So basically the weapon is ready to fire if you rack it back. Now, once you rack the weapon back, which is to engage the slide and put a round in the chamber, that brings it to condition 1. The condition 1 is, of course, round in the chamber, magazine inserted, safety on. You might have noticed that I skipped condition 2. Coincidentally, condition 2 for current military weapons is not applicable. But, for your information, condition 2 was used for the old service sidearm 1911s. The 1911s, you can go going between condition 3 and condition 1, you have like a half cock. So you can have condition 1 with a round in the chamber, with the hammer all the way forward, or with the cock to the rear. Seeing as how we don't have weapons like that anymore, that condition code has been null and voided, but is not removed entirely from our condition codes. So, now that we know what the universal firearm safety rules are, and the 4 condition codes, the question might arise, how do we know what condition my weapon is in and my shipmate's weapon is in? Well, how we do that is there are 7 different handling commands that everybody knows. When I say everybody, of course, I mean everyone in the military. These handling commands are referenced from the OPNAV instruction 3300.53 alpha, which is the most current revision for this instruction. Each of the 7 commands prompts a desired action. The first command is load. Load will take your weapon from condition 4 to condition 3. That is a totally empty weapon to inserting the magazine. That's load. Make ready. That's the follow-on command. That's where you take your loaded weapon from condition 3, like I was saying, to condition 1, where you rack the slide back and now you have a round in the chamber and a magazine inserted. Load and make ready, which is the combination of the first 2, is taking your empty weapon, inserting the magazine, racking the slide back, and now you have a ready-to-fire weapon with the exception of turning the safety off. Fire. Pretty self-explanatory. That's where you engage your target, engage your threat. Your weapon is already in the condition to fire, or is already in condition 1, which is around in the chamber. All you have to do is take the safety off and you're good to go. Adversely to that, you have ceasefire. Stop firing. It's pretty simple. Unload, which is you take your weapon from either condition 1, which is magazine inserted around the chamber, or condition 3, just magazine inserted, all the way down to condition 4. Condition 4 again is no magazine inserted, no round in the chamber, safety on. The final 7th command for handling is unload, show, clear. This one is range specific, so in a training situation, unload, show, clear is you will stand there with your firearm pointed down range, safely away from everybody, and you will show your instructor or you will show the line handler that you are in condition 4. And they'll observe that, and you're good to go, and they will deem you unloaded and have shown clear, and then you can set the weapon down safely. So, general firearm safety rules. You have the universal firearm safety rules. You have the handling commands we just went over, and then the condition codes of the weapons. So, now we're going to wrap this up. In conclusion, we've seen the proper training of weapons polarization is essential for safe weapon handling. I have focused on the 2 major sections of firearm training, which is, again, the universal firearm safety rules, handling commands, and condition codes. For all service members and civilians alike, weapon safety and proper training is an important portion to any type of shooting. Thank you for coming out to my speech. I apologize for the hoarseness of my voice, and that is it. That concludes the speech.